Hi everyone, welcome to another DataVault Q&A brought to you by Iris, the best DataVault automation for a modern data platform. I'm joined again by my colleague Nols Ebersohn. Hi Nols.
Hi Julien, how are you?
Good. I have a great question for you today. Are there any limits to the complexity of the business vault inputs and calculations?
Great question. This question's probably stemming from a position of, well, we've got a couple of inputs and it's from this system we have these gaps, but what if those gaps go beyond just a single system or single context? What if it actually goes across different systems and needs to sort of correlate across tens, 20, dozens, hundreds of systems at times? And so as far as the data vault or the business vault process is concerned, it doesn't care what goes into the rule. The rule could be as complex as it needs one or two columns, or it may be as complex as it needs 100 different inputs. The business rule, all it's doing is creating yet just more data. That product is made available to the data vault. Data vault knows exactly how to deal with data. It knows hubs, links, and satellites, and the resulting data from that rule, irrespective of the input complexity, is treated like any other data, properly historized, proper ordered trail. And so the complexity is not in the data vault design, the complexity is in the rule itself. And there is no limit to the number of inputs or the complexity of that rule. It's great advice, though, to take a complex business rule and break it up into smaller, more distinct or standalone components so that you can maintain and manage that more efficiently and get better performance. The simpler the process, the better the performance would be. So it's a bit of an art and a science. And so the disciplines that we've developed over many years of application development applies really well. Object-oriented programming, all of service-oriented architectures with utility services and the like. All of those are appropriate patterns to help you to simplify it and provide a flexible, ongoing, scalable architecture for executing the rules. You may have several technologies potentially in your landscape that needs to participate. That's fine too. As far as the data vault is concerned, it's going to do, as Jerry McGuire has said, show me the data, as opposed to the money, but show me the data. And that's essentially what data vault is asking, is just provide the data. We know what to do with data. And so from that perspective, the complexity of the input rule has no bearing as to how it's treated and managed in the data vault.
Right. So the output of the rule could be a single table, or it could be a large data set, depending on what it is you're trying to calculate. Is that right?
Correct. And if you can if it's a complex business rule and you have the interim results that make up the final insight, and those interim results are provided along with the final result, it provides great transparency to the business, to the end users, to whoever wants to audit and track and verify that the result is correct. And so all good practices in making available all of the necessary insights, interim and final, to the end user community. And that becomes even more and more important when we are talking about complex business rules. So it may not be as apparent when it's a simple rule, but it's certainly apparent when it's a complex business rule.
Oh, and I always love the fact that you can version control your rules, and you can apply this year's rule to last year's data, or last year's rule to this year's data. So you can do those differential kind of evaluations there.
Absolutely. And if the results are historized in the data vault, as it would be if you treat it as just more data, that differentiation is a where clause away. You do not have to go and recalculate necessarily. You simply have a where clause.
That's great. All right. Well, that was a great answer to an insightful question. So if you'd like to hear more from Nols, if you need some help with your data vault, feel free to reach out. We'd love to help you. And thanks for joining me today, Nols.
Thank you, Julien.